Get out of here!
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grey Malcolm.
And call.
Anon.
Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
What bloody man was this? You can report to Seamuth of his plight if the revolt the new estate.
'Tis Donald Bain, my brother and your son, who like a good and hearty soldier fought against my captivity. Hail, good brother. Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Aye, doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers who cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him. From the western isles of Cairns and Gallaglas is supplied, and fortune, on his damned quarrel smiling, showed like a rebel's whore. But all's too weak, for brave Macbeth, well, he deserves that name. Disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, was smote with bloody execution. Like valor's minion, carved out his passage, till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands, nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chaps, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Valiant son, worthy gentleman.
As whence the sun gins his reflection, shipwrecking storms and direful thunders break. So from that spring whence comfort did seem to come, discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, mark! No sooner had justice with valour armed compel these skipping cairns to trust their heels, but an away lord, surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
The snake was not our captains, Macbeth and Banquo.
Yes, as sparrows, eagles, or the hare, the lion. If I say sooth, I must report. They were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe, except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds, or memorize another Golgotha. I cannot tell, but I am faint. My gashes cry for help.
Thy words suit thee as well as thy wounds. They smack of honour both. Get him to surgeons. Good job, sir.
The worthy lady rose.
Well, haste looks through her eyes. So should she look that seems to speak things strange.
God save the king.
Where comes thou from, worthy dame?
From Fife, great king, with Norway and banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that Bologna's bridegroom, lapped in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point rebellious, arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit. And to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Great happiness.
That now, Sweno, Norway's king, craves composition, nor would we deign him burial of his men to be distributed to St. Colm's Inch. $10,000 for our general use.
Go forth and pronounce Cawdor's present death. And with his title greets Macbeth.
I will see it done.
Was he at lost, Macbeth won.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is called to forest?
What is this? You look not like an inhabitant of the earth and yet is aunt. Live you, or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me. Nature once such happy finger laying upon her skinny lips. Speak, if you can. What are you?
All hail, Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Blarney! All hail, Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor!
All hail, Macbeth. Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly ye show? My noble partner, you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope that he seems rapt withal. To me you speak not. If you can, look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me. Neither beg nor fear your favours nor your hate.
Hail! Hail!
Hail.
Lesser than Macbeth, and greater. Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings though thou be known. So all hail, Macbeth and
Michael and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay. You perfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death, I know I am Thane of Clarence, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not more within the prospect of belief, and that to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence. Speak, I charge you!
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither were they vanished?
Into the air? I would have seen Cawdor's melted his breath into the wind. But they'd stay.
Were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be king.
You shall be king.
The Thane of Cawdor too. Went it not so?
To the self-same tune and words. Who said?
The king hath happily received from Macbeth news of thy success, and when he hears of your personal ventures in the rebels' fight, he wonders and his praises do contend which should be thine or his. Silenced with that, viewing of the rest of the self-same day, he finds thee in the stout Norwegian ranks. Nothing feared of what thyself did to me. Strange images of death. As thick as hail came post with post, and each one bore your praises in the kingdom's great defence, and poured them down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our noble master thanks, only to herald thee into his sights, not paid.
And, in earnest of a great honour, he bade me, from him, pronounce thee Thane of Cawdor, and in addition hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What? Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
The Thane of Cawdor lives, yet under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help and vantage, or that with both he laboured in his country's wreck, I know not. But treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glamis, and Thane of Cawdor too. The greatest is behind. Thank you for your pains. Do you not both your children should be kings, and those that gave Cawdor to me promise no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles to betray us in deepest consequence. Daughter, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told. As happy prologues to the swelling imperial theme. Thank you, friends. truth. I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that horrid image which does unfix my hair and make my heart seat against my ribs, against the use of nature? My thought whose murder is yet but fantastical shakes so my single state of man that nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partner's wrapped.
If chance will have me king, why, chance may crown me, without my stir.
New horrors come upon him, like our strange garments, cleave not to their mould, but with the aid of use.
Come what may, time and hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Forgive me, my dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Let's towards the king. And in time the interim having waited, let's speak our free hearts together.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
Is execution yet done on Cawdor? Are those in commission not yet returned?
Father, they're not yet gone back, but I have spoke with one that saw him die. He did report that very frankly he confessed his treason, implored your highness pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him right believing it. He died as one who'd been studying his death as to throw away the dearest thing he owed, as for a careless trifle.
There is no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Worthiest cousin! Even now the sin of our ingratitude hangs heavy upon us. Thou art so far beyond the swift ring of recompenses, slow to overtake thee. Had it been that thou were less deserving, that the proportion of both thanks and payment might have been mine. All that's left for me to say, more is thy due than all that I can pay.
The service and loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your Highness's part is to receive our duties, and our duties is your throne and state children, and your servants, who do all but what they should by doing everything safe towards your love and honour.
Welcome hither. We have begun to plant thee, and will labour to make thee full growing. Noble Banquo, thou hast no less deserved, nor shall be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee, and hold thee close to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and those who are nearest, know that we shall impart our estates upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland. But honour shall not invest in him only, but nobleness, like stars, shall shine on all deservers. Tonight we shall feast here, and bind us further to you.
The rest is labour, which is not use for you. I'll be myself harbinger, and make joyful the ears of my wife upon news of your stay.
My worthy Cawdor.
So humbly I take my leave. The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must owe a leap, or else fall over for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires.
True enough, worthy Banquo. He is full valiant, and in his commendations we are fed. It is a banquet to us. Let us after him, whose care goes before us to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
a day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report that they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came misses from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters had saluted me, and referred me with the coming on of time as Hail, King that shalt be. This I have thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dews of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Gordon. And shalt thou be what thou art promised? Yet do I fear thy nature. Is it too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way? Thou wouldst be good, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What's thou wert highly, thou wouldst holily. Was not play false, yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou'st have great Glamis, that which thus cries, thus thou must do if thou have it, and that which rather thou dost fear to do, than wishes should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valour of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tender?
The king rests here tonight.
Thou art now to say it. The word so would have informed me for preparation.
'Tis true, the Thane is out, but one of my fellows had speed of him, who almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than would make up his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse, which croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe top full of the direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, and stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shape my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pour thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through a blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold. Great glance, worthy Cawdor, greater than both, and by the all hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond the ignorant present, and I feel now the future in this instant.
My dearest love, Duncan rests here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
And never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To look like the time, beguile the time. Their welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He's that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and mastership.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favour ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air sweetly and nimbly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
This guest of summer, the temple-haunting martlet, does approve by his loved mansionary, that the heaven's breath smells wooingly here. No jutty, frieze, buttress, nor coign of vantage, but this bird hath made his pendant bed and Peruvian cradle. Where they most breed and haunt, I have observed, the air is delicate.
Cece, our honoured hostess, the love that follows us sometimes is our trouble, which still we thank is love. Herein I teach you how you shall bid God gild us for your pains, and how you shall thank us for your trouble.
All our service, in every point twice done, then done double. We're poor and signal businesses to contend against those honours broad and deep, with your majesty loads our house. For those of old and the late dignities heaped up to them, we rest your servants.
Fair and noble hostess, tonight we are your guests.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves and what's theirs in comp to make their audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Direct me to mine host. We love him highly and will continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
Assassination could travel up the consequence, that this blow might be the be-all and end-all here, but here, upon this banking shoal of time, we would jump the life to come. But in this case, he's here in double trust. First, I'm his soldier and his kinsman, strong both against the deed. Then, as his host, who should against the murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent. Only vaulting ambition, which overleaps itself and falls upon the other. Oh no, what news?
Why, we left the chamber, he is almost sunk.
Have you asked me?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He has honoured me of late and brought forth all sorts of golden opinions, which should be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk when you dressed yourself, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and vow as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have which thou seest the ornament of life and live a coward in thine honesty? Letting I dare not wait upon I would like the poor cat you love.
Peace. I dare do all may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was then that made you break this enterprise to me? When durst you do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more than man, nor time nor place to them appear, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves now, and their fitness now does obey true. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love to bathe that amongst me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his broken guns and dashed his brains out, had I so sworn as you had done to this.
If we should fail.
We fail! But screw your courage to the sticking place, and will not. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his hard day's journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail, so convinced that memory, the water of the brain, shall be less human, and receipt of reason a limbic only, when in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie that is in a death. What cannot you and I perform upon an unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers who shall bear the guilt of our great crown?
Bring forth men, children only. That I, undaunted metal, should compose of nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked those sleepy two of his own chambers with his blood and used their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, for we shall make our griefs and clamours roar upon his death.
And second, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible fate. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. False face doth hide, but false heart doth know.
night, girl.
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I take it 'tis later, sir.
Hold. Take my knife. There's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. Take thee that too. Heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my knife. Who's there?
A friend.
What? Sir, not yet at rest. The king's abed. He hath been in most unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. This diamond he greets your wife withal, in name of most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless contempt.
Being unprepared, our free will became servant to defect. Which else should free abroad?
All's well. Last night I dreamt of the weird sisters. To you they have showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can treat in and out to serve, we should spend some words upon the time, if you'll grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent when it is, it shall make honour for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I shall be counselled.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The like to you.
Tell thy mistress to strike the bell when my drink is ready. Get you to bed. Is this a dagger, which I see before me? The handle towards my hand, come. Let me clutch thee. I have thee none. And yet I see thee still. Art thou not? Fatal vision, as sensible to feeling, as to sight. Or art thou but a dagger of the mind? A false creation, proceeding from the heat of oppressive brain. I have thee not. And yet I see thee still in form as palpable as this which thou marshalst me the way I was going. And such an instrument I was to use. Oh. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses. Or else worth all the rest. Oh, I see thee still. And on that blade of gushing gouts of blood which was not so there before. No, there's no such thing! It is the bloody business which involves dust in my eyes! Now, over one half world, nature seems dead. And withered dreams abuse the curtain's feet. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered Mona, alarmed by his sentinel, the wolf, whose howls his watch thus with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides, moves towards his design like a ghost. shore and firm set earth. Pray not my whereabouts. Which way they walk, for fear they take the present horror from the time, which now suits with it. Whilst I thread, he lives. Words too cold to the heat of deed gives. I go. And it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan. For it is a knell that summons thee to heaven. Or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark. Peace. 'Twas the owl that screamed. The fatal bellman which gives the stars good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their posses that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there?
Alack, I fear they have awakened, and 'tis not done the attempt, and not the deed confounds us. Hark, I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them had he not resembled my father as he slept. I had done it. My husband.
I have done the deed. Didst thou hear a noise?
I heard the owl shriek and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
No.
As I descended?
Aye.
Hark, who lies in the second chamber?
Donald Wayne.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say sorry sight.
There's one did cry in his sleep. And one cried, murder. That they did wake each other. I heard them, but they did address themselves to sleep and stay their prayers.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other. They'd seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening their fear, I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deep.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder. Sleep. The innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the ravelled sleeve of care, chief nourisher in life's feast, balm of hurt minds, and still it cried, sleep no more! To all the house glance hath murdered sleep. And therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? My worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brazenly of these things. Well, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear their sleepy grooms with
I'll go no more! I'm afraid to look upon what I've done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infernal purpose! Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood which fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, then I'll gild the face of the grooms with all, for it would seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it when every noise appalls me? hands are here. They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean not wash this blood clean from my hand?
My hands are of your colour. You are ashamed to wear a heart so white. Oh, I hear a knocking. Put on your nightgown. The blood to down. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then your constantly hath left you unattended? Put on your nightgown lest occasion calls us, and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, to best not know myself.
Wait, Duncan, with thy talking!
I would thou couldst.
Here's a knocking indeed. Man were porter of Hellgate. He should have old turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? In the name of Beelzebub. Here's a farmer who hung himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in, farmer. Have napkins enow about you. Here you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? In the other devil's name. Faith, he is an equivocator who could swear in both the scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, but could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Oh, knock, 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 who's there? Oh, Faith, he is an English tailor for stealing other French owners. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Oh, knock, knock, what are you? But this place is too cold for hell. Oh, devil porter it no further. I'd hope to let in some of all the professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Oh, none and none!
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed that you do lie so late?
Aye, sir. We were carousing until the second cock. And drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir. Nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but takes away the performance. Hence, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him, and it mars him. It sets him on, and it takes him off. It persuades him, and disheartens him. It makes him stand to,
stand too. In conclusion, he equivocates him in his sleep, and, giving him the lie, leaves him.
I do believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
I did, sir, in the very throat on me. But I requited him for his lie, and though he took up my legs some time, I was too strong for him, and made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring? Knocking has awakened him. Here he comes.
Good morning, noble sir.
Good morning.
Is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I've almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you. The gift is
The label we delight in physics Spain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, but 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay our chimneys were blown down, and, as they say, lamenting here in the air the strange screams of death, and prophesies of absence terrible, of dire combustion and confused events and woeful time. The obscure birds clamoured the livelong night, and some say the earth was feverish and did shake.
It was a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror! 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 Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee!
What's the matter?
Confusion hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke up the Lord's anointed temple, as doctrines the life of the building!
What is it you say, the life?
Mean you, his majesty?
Approach the chamber, and destroy your sight with a new gorgon. Do not bid me speak, see, and then speak for yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder! Treason! Malcolm Donovan Banquo! Awake! Shake off this damn you sleep, man! Death's counterfeit and look on death itself! Up and see the great doom's image. Malcolm! Banquo, as from your graves rise up, and walk like sprites and countenance this horror! Ring the bell!
What's the business of such a hideous trumpet call to party the sleepers of this house? Speak, speak!
Gentle lady, it's not for you to hear what I speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo! Banquo, our royal master's murdered!
Oh, alas, what in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Macbeth, I pray thee, contradict thyself and say it is not so!
An hour before this chance I have lived a blessed time. From this instance there's nothing serious in mortality. All is but toil. The wine of life is drawn, and the very least is left for to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are, and do not know. The source, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal fathers murdered.
By whom?
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were badged with blood. So were their daggers, which, unwiped, we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life should have been trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I do kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate, furious, loyal, and neutral in a moment? No man. Here lay the gracious Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stab seemed like a breached in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. There. The murderers, steeped in the colours of their trade, their daggers unmannily breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make love known?
They had so.
Look to your lady.
tongues. The both may claim this argument for ours.
What should be said here? Where our fate? Hid away in alcohol may rush and seize us. Let us away. Our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor a strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to your lady. And when we have our naked frailties hid that suffer in exposure, let us meet. To question this most bloody piece of work, to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
So
all.
Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
What will you do? Let's not consult with them. To show an unfelt sorrow as novice which the false man does easy. I'll to England.
To Ireland I. Our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there is daggers in men's smiles, the near in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shall have not yet lighted. And our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore, to horse. And let's not be danger of leave taken, but shift away. There's warranted that theft which steals itself. And there's no mercy left.
These last 10 years I remember well. Within the volume of which time I've seen hours dreadful and things strange, but this sore night hath trifled former knowing.
Good sister, thou seest the heavens as troubled with man's axe threatens his bloody stage. By the clock 'tis day, and yet dark night strangles the travelling man. 'Tis night's predominance or day's shame that darkness should the face of earth entomb, when living light should kiss it.
'Tis unnatural, even like the deed that's done. On Tuesday last, a falcon towering in her prided place was by a mousing owl hawked and killed.
And Duncan's horses, a sight most strange and certain. Beauteous and swift, minions of their race, turned wild in nature, broke their stalls, flung out, contending against obedience, and would make war with mankind.
'Tis said they eat each other?
That they do, to the amazement of mine eyes that looked upon it. Here comes the good Macbeth. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why? See you not?
It's known who did this more than bloody deed.
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas the day. What good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still. Thriftless ambition that will raven up their own life's means. And 'tis likely the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named and invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Macbeth?
No, out of Fife.
I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu, lest our old road sit easier than our new.
Farewell, sister.
God's benison go with you. And with those that make good and bad and friends and foes!
Thou hast it now, King Cawdor, Glamis, all as the weird women promised. And I fear thou playedst most foully for it. Yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If truth come from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, why, thy
the verities on thee made good? May they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
He's our chief guest.
If he had been forgot, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all things unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with a most indissoluble tie, forever knit.
Why do you decide to leave?
I, my good friend.
Ah, who would have else required your good advice, which in today's council has been both grave and prosperous. Is it far you ride?
As far, my friend, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper. Though not my horses the better, I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our fees.
Sir, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, but instead filling their hearers' ears with strange intervention. But of that tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
Not far, my lord.
Hie you to your horse. Those flowers with you.
Aye, she does so. Our time does call upon us.
I wish your horse is sure and swift of foot. Farewell. Let every man be a master of his time till 7 at night. Till then, God be with you. Madam, send that man our pleasure.
Aye, sir. He is without palace gates.
Bring him to me. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears and banquets stick deep. There is none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked. He chid the sisters when they first put the name of crown upon me, to speak to him, and then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they have placed a fruitless crown, and in my gripe a barren sceptre, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If this be so, the Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, I have murdered to make them kings. The seed of Banquo, kings. Rather than so, fate come into the list and champion me unto the utterance. Now get thee gone and go to bed. Was it not yesterday that we spoke together?
It was, so please you.
Well then, have you considered my speeches? Know that it was he that in times past had held you so under fortune, which you thought had been I, innocent self.
You've made it known to me.
I did. Which brings us to our second point of order. Do you find your patience is so predominant in your nature that you would pray for this man and for his issue, whose heavy-handed bowed yours to the grave and beggared yours forever?
I am a man.
Aye. In a catalogue you go for a man. As demi-wolves, sloths, curs, spaniels and mongrels all go under the name of dog. Now, if you have station unto the farm, not in the worst rank of manhood, say it. And I will put that business into your bosom, which takes your enemy off.
I am one who the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
Then know that Banquo is your enemy.
So you have said.
So is mine. And with every minute that his being thrusts against mine, and though I could with barefaced power sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not. For certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself did execute. Thus it is to your assistance that I do make love.
I shall perform what you command of me.
Your spirit shines through you. Within the hour I will advise you where to plant yourself, give you the correct spy of the time. Fleance, his child, whose absence is no less material to me than that of her father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour.
I am resolved.
Get thee gone, I'll call to thee. It is settled. Banquo, if thy soul's flight should find heaven, it must find out tonight.
Is Banquo gone? Aye, madam, but he returns again tonight. Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words. Aye, madam, I will. Naught's had and all spent, for our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, Macbeth? Why do you keep alone? Of sorriest fancies those companions making, using words which should indeed have died with them, they think on. Things without remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor Malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But Duncan lies in his grave. Life's fitful fever is over. He sleeps and nothing. Not steel, poison, foreign levy, or malice domestic can harm him further.
Come on. Gentle your words, think over your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I. And so, I pray, be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him with eminence in both eye and tongue, and make our faces visits to our hearts, disguising what they are.
Oh, you must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou know of Banquo and his issue flans?
But in them nature's hop is not eternal.
There's hope yet. They are assailable. And be thou jocund. There shall be done a deed of dreadful merit.
What's to be done?
Be innocent, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Black Knight, come take thy bloody and invisible hand, and take that which makes me pale. Thou marvelst at my words. But be thee still. Things bad begun are made stronger by ill. So, prithee, go with me.
Bid thee join with me.
Macbeth.
He needs not my mistrust, since he delivers to my offices, and what I have to do to the direction just. But stand with me. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day that spur the later traveller apace to gain the timely end, and near approaches the subject of our watch. Hark! I hear horses.
Then 'tis he, the rest within the note of expectation, already hear the call.
His horses go about.
About a mile, where he does usually. So all men do, from hence unto the gate maketh them.
A light!
Stand to it.
Come down! Fly! 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 Who did strike out the light?
There is but one down, the daughter has fled.
Then we have lost best half of our affair! And we must away and see what has been done!
Sit down, and first and last I ask you welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Thanks to your majesty.
Ourselves will play the humble host and mingle with society. Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time we will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir. For all our friends, for my heart speaks, they are welcome.
Here, both sides are even. I'll sit in the midst. But first, we drink and measure, the table round. If thou did not, the non-parallel.
Most notable Sir Flamel's has escaped.
There comes my fit again. I'd else been perfect. Old as the marble, found as the rock, but now I am cabined, confined, cribbed and bounded to swassy doubts and fears, but back was safe.
So safe in the ditch he bides with 20 trenched gashes upon his head, the least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. There, with the grown serpent eyes, the worm that's fled, hath in time nature will be venom, but no tea for the present. Get thee gone. Tomorrow we'll hear ourselves again.
My husband, you do not give the cheer. The feast is sold, that is not often vouched. While 'tis making, 'tis given who is welcome. To feed were best at home, from whence the sauce to meat is a ceremony. Meeting will bear without it.
Sweet remembrance, Now, good digestion waits on both, and health on appetite.
May it please your highness sit?
Here we have our country's honour roof, with the grace person of our banquet present. Mine may rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please you grace us with your noble company.
The table's full.
Here is a place reserved, sir.
What?
Here, good sir, what is it that moves you thus?
Which of you have done?
What, sir?
Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake that gory glass!
Gentlemen, rise, his highness is unwell.
Pray you keep seat. My husband is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought, he will be well again. Much you note him, you shall offend him and extend his passions. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
I am a bold one, and that I look upon which when I pull the devil.
Proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts impostors of true fear would well become a woman's story at a winter's fire authorised by her granddad. Shame itself! Why do you make such faces? When all's but done, you look but on a stool!
Prithee, look there, behold, lo. Why, what dare I? If thou canst not speak too, if what we send down must come back on monument to be the walls of kites!
What quite unmurdered folly!
If I stand here, I saw him!
Fie for shame!
Blood hath been shed here now. The times have been. But when the brains are out, the man would die and there it would end. But now they rise again with 20 mortal murders from their crowns and push us from their stools. This is more strange than such murderers.
My worthy Thane, your noble friends do lack you.
My friends, think not of this. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Here, I'll sit down. Bring me some wine. I feel full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our dear friend. Banquet, whom we miss. And to you are here. To him, and to all, and to all.
Our duties and the pledge.
Avaunt! And quit thy sight! Thy blood is cold, thy bones are marrowless. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes, but thou must glare it!
Think of this, good peers, that is a thing of custom. 'Tis none other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare I dare? Approach thou like the rugged Russian bear, the hurricane tiger, or the arm rhinoceros. Take any form that of my nerves shall never tremble! Shall never tremble! But take this form, and dare me to the desert with thy sword. And take from me the mockery of a baby girl. And horrible shadow, unreal mockery, hate! Why so being gone? I am a man again. Pray sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with most admired disorder.
Can such things be? And overcome us like a summer's cloud. You make me strange. Even now to the disposition I owe, you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks. And mine is blanched with fear.
sights, sir!
Speak no more. Question enrages him, he grows worse and worse. And once good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night. Better help attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood.
How goes the night? Almost at odds with morning. Which is which?
How is it that the gross Macbeth denies his presence at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I will tomorrow. And perhaps at times speak with the weird sisters. More shall they tell me. I am steeped so far in blood that should I wait further, returning was as tedious as to go over. Strange things I have in the head, do I, which must be acted upon, else they go away.
Like the seasons of all natures. Sleep.
Come. Will to sleep. Mwah. We are yet but young indeed.
My former speeches have but little or thoughts I can interpret further. Only I say things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Married, he was dead. And the right valiant banquerow walked too late, whom some may say Flaance killed, Flaance fled. Men must walk too late. But who could not want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damned fact! How would he grieve Macbeth? Did he not straight in pious rage the two delinquents tear, the slaves of drink and fools of sleep? Was that not nobly done? Aye, and wisely too. It would have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say he has borne all things well. And I do think that had he Duncan's son under his key, as an't please heaven, he shall not, they would learn what to kill a father. So should Flaance. But peace. For from broad word, and because he failed his presence at the tyrant's feast, I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. So, can you tell me where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, from whom the tyrant holds his due of birth, lives in the English court, and is received by the most pious Edward with such grace that the malevolence of fortune nothing takes from his high regard. Thither Macduff has gone to pray the Holy King, with his age to wake Northumberland and warlike Seward. With the help of these and him above to ratify the work, we may once again give our tables meats, sleep to our nights, free our feasts and banquets, bloody knives. Pay faithful homage and receive free honours, all which we pine for now. No report of this is so exasperate the king he prepares for some attempt at war.
Sent he to Macduff?
He did, and with a sir not I, the cloudy messenger turns me his back, and hums as if to say, thou rue the time that clogs me with this answer.
That might well advise him to caution, to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message here he come, that a swift blessing may soon return to this our suffering country, under a hand accursed.
I will send my prayers with him.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? I conjure you, by that which you profess to know, answer me. Though pyramids and palaces do slope to their foundation, answer me. Though nature's germs to destruction sicken, answer me!
Speak! Demand!
Will answer.
Say it fast, rather hear it. From our mouths, or from our master?
Beware, Macduff. Beware the Thane of Fife. Dismiss me! And out!
Whatever thou art, thy good caution thanks, but one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth!
Cry three!
Be bloody, bold and resolute! Scorn to laugh the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear thee? And yet I'll make assurance double sure. Thou shalt not live. But my heart throbs to know one thing more. Tell me, if thou art can tell so much, will banquet issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
Oh, I will be I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse shall fall upon thee.
Show in his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of banquet.
They crowd to sear mine eyeballs. Filthy hags, why have you shown me this?
What? Is this so?
I say, all this is so. Where stands Macbeth, thus amazing? Come, sisters, cheer me up as sprites, and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to give a sound while you perform your antique round. For this great king may kindly say our duties did his work convey.
Where are they? Gone? Let this pernicious hour stand where accursed in the calendar. Come in! Without there!
What is your grace's will?
Saw you the Wit Sisters.
No, sir.
Can you buy them?
No, indeed, sir.
Flexing be the air upon where they rise, and damn those that trust them.
I heard the galloping of horses. Who was it that came by?
'Tis 2 or 3 that bring word Macduff has fled to England.
Fled to England.
Aye, sir.
Time. Thou anticipatest my dread exploits. Flighty purposes never o'ertook unless the deed go with him. From this moment on, the firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. The class of Macduff I will surprise, and give the edge of the sword to his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before the purpose cool. But no more sights. Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me to them.
What have ye done to to make him fly the land.
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our actions do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom. To leave his wife and his babes and his mansions and his titles to a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in the nest against the owl. All is the fear and nothing is the love, as little as the wisdom, when the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest, I pray you school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak further, but cruel are the times. For we are traitors, but do not know ourselves. We hold rumour from what we fear, and yet know not what we fear. We're tossed upon a wild and violent sea, each way we move. I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at the worst will cease, or else rise up to what they were before. My dearest cuz, blessings upon you.
Father he is, and yet he is fatherless.
I am so much a fool, should I say long it would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Child, your father is dead. And what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, mother.
What, with worms and flies?
With what I get any. And so do they.
Poor dear, thou will never fear the net nor lime, the pitfall nor the gin.
Why should I, mother? Poor birds they are not set for. My father is not dead for all you're saying.
Aye, he is dead. And what will thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
I can get me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy him to sell again.
Thou speakst all thy wit and yet in faith, what's enough for thee?
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
One that lies and swears.
And be all traitors that do so?
Well, if they act so, then they should all be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Every one.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men?
Then the liars and swearers are fools. For there are liars and swearers enough to beat the honest men and hang up them.
God help thee, poor monkey. But how will thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you would weep for him. If you would not, it were a good sign that I shall quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Bless you, fair dame. I am not, you know, though in your state of honour I am perfect. No doubt some danger does approach you nearly, and if you will take a homely man's advice, be not found to heads with your little one, or to frighten you thus methinks as too savage, to do worse for fell cruelty which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserve you. I dare abide you no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no wrong. But I remember now I am on this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable and to do good accounted dangerous folly. Why then, alas, do I accept this womanly defence when I have done no harm? What is this face?
Where is your husband?
I hope in a place so unsanctified where thou wilt never find him!
He is a traitor!
No lies, Philip!
Friend treachery!
Let us seek out some desolate shade,
and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and my good men bestride our downfallen birthday. Each new morn new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face. It resounds as if it felt in Scotland, and yelled out like syllable of dollar.
What I believe I'll wail, what no believe. And what I can redress, as I shall find the time to, friend, I will. What you've spoke, it may be so perchance.
This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry god.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil on an imperial charge. But I shall crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are still bright, though the brightest fell.
I have lost my hopes.
Perchance, even there where I did find my doubts. Why in that rawness left you wife and child? Those precious motives, those strong nuts of love, without leave taking. I pray, let not my dishonours be your jealousies, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just whatever I shall think.
Bleed, poor country, great tyranny, lay thou thy basest shore, for goodness dare not check thee, where thy wrongs the title is afeard. Fare thee well, sir, for I would not be the villain that thou thinkest, for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp.
Be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there will be hands uplifted in my right, and here from gracious England have I offer of goodly thousands. But, for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer in more sundry ways than ever by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice so grafted, that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will appear as pure as snow, and our poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless harms.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned than eagles to top Macbeth.
I grant him bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name. But there's no bottom, none, in my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust, and my desire all continent impediments would o'erbear all that did oppose my will. Better Macbeth than such a one to reign.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny. It hath been the untimely emptying of the happy throne and fall of many kings. But fear not yet to take upon you what is yours. You may convey your pleasures in a spacious plenty, and it seem cold the time you may so hoodwink. We have willing dames enough. There cannot be that vulture in you to devour so many as will to greatness dedicate themselves, finding it so inclined.
With this there grows in my most ill-composed affection such a staunchless avarice that, were I king, I should cut off the nobles from their lands, desire his jewels and this other's house, and my more having would be as a source to make me hunger more. That I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than some seeking lust, and it hath been the sword of our slain kings. Yet do not fear. Scotland hath foistons to fill up your will. Of your mere own, all these are feasible, with your other graces weighed.
but I have none. The king becoming graces as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, fortitude, courage. I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting in many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland!
Scotland! Such a bitch wanted me fit to govern and speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern, not to live!
Ah, nation miserable! With an untitled tyrant bloody sceptred, when will I see thy wholesome days again? This is the truest issue of thy throne. By his own interdiction stands accused and blasphemes his breed. Thy father was a most sainted king! So fare thee well, sir. These evils thou repeatest upon thyself have banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, my hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, this child of integrity hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, and reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honour. Devilish Macbeth by many of these trains hath thought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from over-credulous haste. But God above deal between thee and me. For even now I put myself in thy direction, and unspeak mine own detraction. Here abjure all the taints and blames I laid upon myself, for strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown of woman, never was forsworn, would scarcely betray the devil to his fellow. By no point broke my faith, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false weakening was this upon myself. What I am, truly, is thine and my poor country's to command. Whither indeed, before thy here approach, old Seawood, with 10,000 warlike men, already at a point of setting forth. Now we'll together, and our chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. It is hard to reconcile. Who comes here?
My countryman, yet I know her not.
My ever gentle lady, welcome hither.
I know her now. Good God, for time removes the means that makes us strangers.
Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave. The sighs and groans and shrieks that rend the air are made, not marked. The dead man's knell is there, scarce asked for who, and good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps, dying or ere they sicken.
A relation, too nice and yet too true.
What's the nearest grief?
The age of an hour doth hiss the speaker, each minute seems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace.
No, they were at peace when I did leave them.
Not a coward of your speech. How goes it?
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, that will bestow them with the heaviest sound that ever they heard.
I guess at it.
Your castle is surprised. Your wife and babes, savagely slaughtered, to relate the manner to add the death of you.
Merciful heaven. What, man? There, put your hand over your brows, give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the overflowed heart and bids it break.
My children too.
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
I must be from thence, my wife kills too.
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children! Oh, my pretty ones. Did you say all? Well, kind of. All my pretty chickens in there down at one fell swoop.
Disputed like a man.
Oh, I shall do so. And I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things that were more precious to me. Did heaven look on? I will not take their part. How sinful would that? Not for their own demerits, but for mine fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Convert grief to anger. Blunt not the heart. Enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes, and braggart with my tongue, but gentle heavens cut short all intermission front to front. Bring me this fiend of Scotland of myself, whither my soul's length sent him. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go into the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it last you walked?
Since her husband went into the field, I've seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, and afterwards seal it and return to bed. Yet all this while in the most fast asleep.
A great perturbation in nature to receive the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbering agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report
Remain
after
to me,
her.
'tis most meet you should.
Not to you, nor to anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. No, here she comes. And this is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Watch her, observe her, stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, stood by her. She has a light by her continuously, 'tis her command.
You see her eyes are open.
Aye, but their senses are shut.
What is she does now? She rubs her hands.
'Tis the custom action with her to seem thus rubbing her hands. I've known her to continue this in a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Oh, she speaks. I shall set down what comes from it to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Ouch! Damn spot! Out, I say! 1, 2. Why then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, a soldier and defeat. What we me fear, who knows it, when none could call our power to account. Yet, who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife, where is she now? What will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, good sir, no more on that. You are all with this starting.
You know you should not.
She has spoken what she should not, that I am sure. Heaven knows what she knows.
Is the smell of blood still? All the perfumes in Arabia will not speak to this little hand.
The sigh is there, but the heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body. Pray God peace.
This disease is beyond my practice. I have known those who walked in this who have died holily in their beds. you, yet again Banquo is buried, he cannot come out one's grave. Even so. To bed. To bed. There's a knocking at the gate. Come, give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Will she now go to bed?
Directly. Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than a physician. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove her from all means of annoyance and still keep eyes upon her. So, good night. My mind she has mated and amazed my sight. I think, but I dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
The English power is near, led by my brother, the noble Malcolm, and the good Macduff. Revenge is burning them, for their cause is dear, which the bleeding and the grim alarm excite the mortified man.
Soon we shall see them, for this way they're coming.
Who knows if Flounce with my brother?
Certain, sir, she is, and with him too come many unrough youths that even now protest their thirst for manhood.
And what is the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say he is mad. Others that lesser hate him do call it valiant fury, but certainly cannot buckle his distempered cause under the belt of rule.
Now does he feel his secret murders sticking on his hands. Now minute revolts upbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him, like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish thief.
Brother, I hope the days are near at hand the chambers will be safe.
I doubt it enough.
How goes? What's the latest news?
We learn no other, but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane and will endure our coming down before it.
'Tis his main hope, for where there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him but constrain things whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just senses attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we say we have and what we owe. Thoughts speculative their unsure hopes relate, but certain issue stroke must arbitrate, towards which advance the war.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all. I cannot tame with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Is he not born of woman? Spirits know that all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth, for no man that's born of woman shall ever harm thee. Then fly, false thing, and mingle with the English epicures. Devil damn me black, thou cream-faced loon. Tell me, where gott'st thou that goose look?
There is 1,000
Geese, villain.
soldiers, sir.
Go prove thy face, and overread thy fear, thou lily-livered girl. What soldiers, Patch? What soldiers, Wayface?
The English force so please you, sir.
Go take thy face hence. Satan! I'm sick at heart. When I behold Satan, I say, This push will cheer me now or deceit me ever. I've lived long. I've lived long enough, Satan!
What is your gracious pleasure?
What news, Lord?
All is confirmed, my good lord, as it was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me mine armour.
It is not needed.
I'll put it on. Send more horses, scare the country round. Hang those that talk of fear. Give me mine armour. How goes your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, sir, as she is troubled with thick coming fancies that keep her from rest.
Sure of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind disease, pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow, and take that which weighs upon the heart?
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Drove visit to the docks, I'll manage it. Satan, send out, put my armour on. Doctor, the thanes, fly from me. If thou couldst, doctor, find the water of my land, find a disease and purge it to a pristine health, I would applaud thee to the very end. Pull it off, I say! Doctor, but what broods climb all purgative drugs could scour these English hens? Piss off them.
I say your hasty preparation makes us hear something.
Hanging from the walls, the cry is still, they come. Our castle would laugh a siege to scorn. Had they not been forced with those that should be ours, we might have beat them darefull, bid to bid. What was that noise?
It's the cry of women, my good lord.
I had almost forgotten the taste of fears. The time had been to hear such a night shriek, my fell of hair would have roused at a dismal treatise. I've sucked so full of horrors that darkness, familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me. What was that noise?
Your wife, my lord, is dead.
She should have died her up. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow. And tomorrow. And tomorrow creeps in this petty place from day to day until the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays? Lighted fools the waves to dusty death. Out, brief candle. As before, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard none. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury and signifying. Signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy words, girl. Use them.
Gracious sir, within these 3 miles may you see it coming, as I said before, 1,000 men.
This which she avouches disappear, there is nor flying hence nor tarrying here. I begin to be weary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone.
rack.
At least we'll die with harness on our back!
Now hear enough. My worthy brother, you shall, with our cousin, be our first battle. Worthy Macduff and I shall take upon what else remains to do within our call.
Fare you well. Do but find the tyrant's power tonight. Let us be beaten. We cannot fight.
Make all our trumpets speak! Give them all breath! Those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
They had tied me to a stake. I cannot fly the bear like I must fight the cause. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a man am I to fear? Oh, no one!
What is thy name?
I'll be afraid to hear it.
No. But Allah call us himself a name hotter than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself cannot pronounce a name more hateful to mine ear.
No. No more fearful. I was born of woman.
Tyrant! Shall I bang? Turn, hellhound! Turn! If thou be slain with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched curs, whose arms are hard to bear their stays, either thou Macbeth, or else my sword with an unbattered edge I sheath again undeeded.
Of all men else, I have avoided thee. To get thee back. My soul is charged too much with the blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. The bloodier better than tongues can dig thee out!
Thou losest labour. And easiest thou the entrenched air. Let thy swords fall on vulnerable crest. I bear child life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Despair thy charm, and let the angel that thou still hast served tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Cursed be the tongue that tells me so. For it had cowed my better part of a man. I will not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. I will have thee, as our bearer monsters are, painted on a pole, and under it, here may you see the time.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's fate. Though thou be opposed of woman born, yes, I will try the last. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be he that first cries, hold!
so thou art. Behold the usurper's cursed form. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's power, whose salutations I speak in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!